What's up, guys? Framinthor here, Captain Negativity when it comes to WoW, and there have been Mythic Plus dungeon changes, and apparently they should be live today. I feel like some of them were live yesterday, because I did notice some kind of nerf, but let's see what we have to deal with. Now, you know what? I'm gonna leave the comments for later. Let's just go about it and we'll talk about it later. Because I already have a bunch of opinions about it because, you know, me, I'm a WoW hater. Anyways, Season 1 is off to a roaring start and we've been playing lots of dungeons and gotten lots of great feedback. Man, would be nice if Blizzard actually played their game so they wouldn't need so much feedback to make so many fucking nerfs from players during the first week of Mythic Plus. Buddy, by the way, I already read the patch notes. Most of these changes, I knew about them in Mythic 0 and specifically Algothar Academy. I knew about these changes being needed during Heroic Week, okay? Like the first week, the first time I did Heroic, I was like, yeah, this will need a nerf, right? Not because it was hard on Heroic, but because you can see an outlier right away. And we've been playing lots of dungeons. Yeah, of course you've been playing dungeons. Gotten lots of great feedback from players during this first week of Mythic Plus in Dragonflight. While we want to be careful not to change too much as players are still figuring out the new dungeons, it's pretty much figured out. Okay, like anyone who's doing above a 10 pretty much figured it out. There's not much to figure out. You do a route, you follow the route, you do it once or twice, boom, you figured it out. It's not... We have identified some areas, and no offense, people who are doing like a 3, 4, 5 and whatever, I get that they didn't figure it out. Their feedback, in my opinion, is not that relevant. Like, you know, everyone can see that, like, for example, Ruby life pools is way harder than all the dungeons out there, right? Even though I like Ruby life pools in terms of like dungeon design, the numbers are way out of whack. Okay, but yeah, if you're doing 3, 4, 5, I mean, I'm sorry, your feedback in terms of like why something is hard is not as relevant as someone who's doing a 15 or a 10, and it's like, yeah, this shit is retarded. Okay, when you literally farm Shadow Moon Valley to switch your key to hopefully get a Shadow Moon Valley so you can increase your key, right? The easiest way to get a 15, by the way, last week, probably this week too, if you don't have a Shadow Moon Valley key, let's say you're like, you do like, you know, a 10 or 11, whatever, and like you finish it on time and you didn't get a Shadow Moon Valley key, go to someone else who has a Shadow Moon Valley key at the same level or higher than your key and keep replacing your key until you get a Shadow Moon whatever. Shadow Moon Valley key. I forgot the name of the dungeon. I'll just call Shadow Moon Valley all the time. Until you get Shadow Moon Valley key. Do that. You will easily time it. Get a key. Oh, it's not the key you want. Keep fucking rotating it. Keep doing Shadow Moon Valleys and shit like that until you get another Shadow Moon Valley and keep going, right? Honestly, you could have probably gotten an 18 last week. Not too hard. Just by doing Shadow Moon Valley. Okay? That's how stupid easy. Meanwhile, you wouldn't even time a Ruby life pools. Like, it's extremely not fucking balanced, okay? It's so dumb. Okay, the following Mythic Plus dungeon tuning adjustments will go live with scheduled weekly maintenance this week, tomorrow, December 20, in this region. Yeah, this was posted yesterday. I'm making this video today. On Tuesday, on December 20th. Aggravated Skitterfly, Darting, Sting, damage reduced by 25%. In my opinion, that's not enough, but whatever, and should now try to sting different targets. Again, for this change for Tyrannical Week is totally fine. Mosquitoes are not gonna be an issue. Okay? Resolved an issue that caused Spectral Invoker's Arcane Missiles to not scale properly with key levels. I think, though this one, honestly, wasn't that big of a deal, but whatever. Ancient Branch's health reduced by 40%. Fuck yeah, obviously. I mean, and it's like that guy had way too much HP for what he did. The dot, especially in Tyrannical, if he stayed the way he is in Tyrannical, good luck killing it, and people would get to like 30 fucking ticks or some shit, like 30 stacks just by the time you would kill him. It would be ridiculous. Yeah, this one I called literally on heroic week. That's what I said. Like this one, week 1, I knew it was like, yep, nope, There wasn't really a heroic week. I just, you know, the first week when I started doing heroics, and then later on Mythic Zeros. But as soon as I did heroic, I knew that this thing will need a nerf. Oh, never mind. He wasn't even in heroic. Never mind. Yeah, so yeah, because you don't have this mechanic in heroic. No, okay, so in Mythic Zero. Okay, I just know it was the first week. The Azure Vaults, Conjured Lasher health reduced by 20%. Yeah, sure. Arcane Tenders, Infused Ground damage reduced by 33%. Nah, I mean, the Arcane Tender wasn't really much of an issue, to be honest. Like, it was very visible, the mechanic, just don't stand it. I mean, you can reduce it by, like, however percent you want, you know, you just don't stand in it. Conjure Lasher health, definitely they're too tanky for what they are. Honestly, it should be like 40%, to be honest. They're way too tanky for what they are. They're fucking little flowers. But again, there's only like, what, 6, 9, 13 of them in the whole dungeon. You know, and like they're right at the beginning, so even if you fail to kill them, you restart right away at the spot where you died. So it's not that big of a deal. In my opinion, their damage is too much, not so much their health, because you cannot interrupt that many of them, right? So, but then again, if you kill all of them fast enough, I mean, I guess it's fine. I would honestly, like, I don't mind them having so much health. Maybe this is like mostly for the timer, because like you have to use your cooldowns at that point anyways when you pull 6 of them for percentage. So maybe you do it for the timer. Azure Blade, overwhelming energy reduced by 25%. It's fine. Honestly, I didn't find this boss to be a problem at all. However, in Tyrannical, his AoE is gonna be fucking crazy. Especially because everyone has to be scattered while they're fighting the mobs. I mean, they don't have to be. Technically, you can just have everyone attack the same mob, but it's not too efficient. Overwhelming energy cast time increases to 3 seconds. That's fine. There's now delay before overwhelming energy inflicts damage and expels ancient orb fragments. Was instantly inflict damage. I mean, yeah. Ancient orb damage reduced by 25%. I don't think the ancient orb was a big issue at all. I mean, don't get hit. Like, it's not, you know. Resolve an issue that caused the broadcast for overwhelming energy to not display. I would say, honestly, the damage on the boss, in my opinion, aside from like the AoE, wasn't really a big deal. My biggest problem with this guy, the HP on the 4 ads he summons during his phase is way too high. Way too high. And this was like in normal week. And again, it's not that it's so high it's impossible, it's that it's way too high compared to other shit, okay? This is, again, the ads, like the 4 ads that he summons, are an outlier compared to other stuff. They have way too much HP, that phase lasts way too long, and it happens way too often, right? It's like 2 summons, phase, 2 summons, phase, 2 summons, phase, right? In Tyrannical, you're gonna have 3, 4 fucking phases. The healer will run out of mana, okay? And in Fortified, he's not that hard, and still those ads have way too much HP, even in Fortified week. So yeah, definitely the HP there is gonna be the issue, not so much like the damage. The damage, only the AoE. Court of Stars, Legion Hounds, Fellblaze Bottle now probably has a screen effect while standing within the... I mean, first of all, who stands in the... like... To be honest, I did Court 5 times last week. I only noticed the puddle on the... Like, I knew there was a puddle. I stood in it. It barely did any damage. Like, says it's like 30,000. Obviously, I'm the tank, so it doesn't really matter. But it's like, it's so visible. It's not like... There are other shit that you should make more visible than that. How about the guys who stun you in Court of the Stars? Make that more visible, if anything. The fel, bro, what? Make the stun more visible. That would be my number one, if anything. Make the bats more visible on fucking, like, the bats are less visible than this fell puddle. And the bats, I mean, like, at the end when you fight the Dreadlord. That's more they're less visible than this puddle. Like, whatever, okay. This change is better than no change, sure. Let's give it like that. Halls of Valor, Ebon Claw, Warg's Leap for the throw damage reduced by 30%. Honestly, that's fine, I guess. People were saying they got hit for like 500k when we did a 13. I don't know how, but whatever. I'm pretty sure they didn't die to that. They died to like an auto. Resolved an issue that caused Ebon Claw Warg's Leap for the throw to target the primary threat player. Yeah, that happens. Fenrir, so this is the change I already noticed. I saw this yesterday, that the Claw Frenzies had a cast time as well as had a better visual effect that it's going to happen, because I know when I did Halls of Valor on Saturday, I did not see this. He would just like he would have like the red swipes happening, but there was no cast, there was nothing. I mean, this doesn't really do much. It's just better graphic indication of the range, I guess. But like we increase to 1 second, I mean, like you're not gonna have a lot of time to react anyway, so you should be in melee to begin with. Knockout offensive, this is a big one. Knockout offensive, like most of the percentage you get in knockout offensive, like in any one zone is like towards the third boss, the duo. And that those trash mobs are fucking cancer, bro. But that is the only good place to get the percentage, like, worth time-wise, right? But they hit way too hard, they cast too many spells. In my opinion, like, the spell, this one, the Chant of the Dead time, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say this is the AoE thing that he does around himself, like a big circle around himself, right? It's like, let's say the target is here, and he has, like, this undead, unholy, whatever damage around himself after like 8 seconds. Bro, it lasts so long. I'm like, I dodge it and I think it's over because I'm so used to mechanics just being over. It's such a fucking annoying thing. And I was like, well, I can't stand there for the next fucking forever, and you can't interrupt it or anything. You just have to like move them. And also the graphic indication of it sucks on the hill. It looks almost exactly like the grass. It clips through the floor. Make it a different fucking color, okay? Like that would be a bigger issue than the cast time, the channel time. Soul Harvester's Death Bolt Volley cast time increased to 3 seconds. That's fine, better, easier to interrupt. Soul Harvester's Death Bolt Volley and Shatter Soul now cast less frequently. Amen. Ukal Corruptor's Death Bolt cast time increased to 2 seconds instead of 1.5. That's fine. Ukal Corruptor's Necrotic Eruption is now cast less frequently. The thing is, like, this doesn't really change much from like how annoying this trash will be regardless. Right, this trash is still gonna be kind of shitty to do, but it is still the best way. And again, I don't care that this trash is hard necessarily. What I care is that this trash is so much harder. The percent in this dungeon is so much lower, so you have to kill a lot more trash. And compared to other dungeons, this is way harder than most dungeon trash, right? Even Azure Vaults, right? In Azure Vaults, there is not, like, first of all, there's not big packs, it's usually packs of 3. Okay? All the trash is extremely easy overall, like mechanic-wise, they're fine. Some of them have more HP, but again, if it's groups of 3. Knockout Offensive has groups of 5 or 8 or some shit on a hill. So easy to pull stuff from the side. They have way too much HP. Not compared to like the 3, but they have way too much HP for what they are. Okay, for the percentage they give. Way too much HP, way too much damage. Right? Way too many casts to interrupt to reduce damage. There's a fucking patrol of birds, so you have to pull them down from the fucking hill until the patrol, like, you know, until you kill the patrol. Okay? There's so many problems just with the design of Knockout Offensive. I like the dungeon. Don't get me wrong. I made a video of the dungeons. In my opinion, Knockout Offensive is a great dungeon. It's overall, as the way it's designed is great. But like, yeah, like if you take everything into like perspective, the trash is way too fucking hard, right? And it's not like the bosses are easy compared to the trash. The last boss apparently is really fucking hard overall. And also, by the way, where's the whole fix for the... Obviously, they're not going to fix it because, well, quaking is just 1 week, so it's not a big deal. Where's the whole fix for the quaking stacking at the same time as the fucking pull from the boss? The last boss, he throws that like in after he phases like to his third phase, I guess you can call it, right? When he becomes imbued with the lightning of Onara, and he marks a target, and then he pulls everyone into that target, and guess what? Quaking happens at that same moment. You're fucking dead. I had it happen twice. That's not a good fucking feeling, and that ruined the key twice. And there's nothing you can do about it, by the way. There's absolutely nothing you can do. It's quaking, which, like, it's not like you can immune to quaking. And it's a fucking AoE pull no matter what the distance is. You cannot foresee this. It's literally like an RNG bomb that if you get hit by it, you're fucked. That's not a good mechanic. Where's this fix? Oh, well, no. Okay. This is what I'm saying. This fucking, like, they do not release a ready fucking expansion. It's fucking bullshit. Like, oh, and like I read the comments some people wrote me because I replied to like not replied, I put a comment on Quasi's video. It's like you people will complain about anything, they fix it within a week. This should not have needed to be fixed. This is not something you need to fix. This should have been in the game, and these fixes are not even enough. Shadowmoon Valley is still a broken piece of shit on the easy side. Two of the fucking worm boss doesn't even do damage. We literally killed the worm boss on a 13 without a healer. The healer disconnected, and we finished the dungeon with 3 DPS and a tank. We just nuked everything. The last boss doesn't do damage either, by the way. If you do mechanics, there's 0 damage going out to the fucking dungeon. Just place the fucking AoE shits in the proper area because it always targets the ranged. Have the ranged be like at max range somewhere. Put the puddles in like a fucking corner, and you're good. Keep the boss in the middle. Range puts them in the corner. Kill the middle ad that spawns. There's absolutely no damage going out to anyone in that whole fucking run. You don't even need a healer for most of this fucking thing. Honestly, Shadowmoon, the Shadowmoon dungeon, aside from the first boss, you do not need a healer. All you need is 4 DPS that nuke shit and you're good. That's how fucking unbalanced this whole game is. Why do you have a dungeon like that is like a fucking joke, shouldn't even be a Mythic Plus because of how fucking easy it is, and then you have Ruby life pools, which by the way, great design, but well, way over fucking tuned. Second boss, the fucking fire does way too much damage. Has too much HP. Third boss, the fucking, like the last boss, has way too much AoE damage. Everyone is scattered. It's a very chaotic fight. The healer can barely reach most of the players because everyone's like fucking everywhere. And then you have Shadowmoon Valley, which is a fucking joke. Oh, you're just complaining about nothing. The game is not fucking ready for release. Can you play it? Yeah. As far as a AAA, a Blizzard, a WoW ready fucking game? No, it's not. Classes still have fucking problems. Divine Toll on Protection Paladin still doesn't fucking work. Sometimes it gives you holy power, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you really need that holy power to fucking survive. Guess what? You're not getting shit though. Raging Tempest, Electric Storm damage reduced by 15%. In my opinion, 30% at least is gonna be really fucking bad. In Tyrannical. Energy Surge duration reduced to 8 seconds. So here's the thing. Raging Tempest in Tyrannical probably gonna have 4 phases. In Fortified right now, it had like we got to when we did 13, we pretty much had we reached pretty much 3rd round of damage.
Okay, now the thing is, in Tyrannical, you also can't pick up orbs all nilly-willy. The damage will just kill, like, the healer will not be able to handle the damage of everyone picking up orbs. So you have to, you know, pick up a bit less orbs. Healer has to have max stack, so he has to keep topping himself, so for the storm to be able to heal everyone. In my opinion, this needs a bit of a nerf. Because, like, you know, first one, it's healer cooldown, second one, it's personal cooldown, third one, you hope there's some cooldowns left. Fourth one, I don't know, like, probably, hopefully all the cooldowns are back, but fuck. It's gonna be rough, and honestly, the healer might run out of mana at this point, because there's a lot of constant healing throughout. The healer really can't do anything except heal and collect orbs, and when he collects orbs, he has to heal again. Energy surge duration reduced to 8 seconds. Energy surge duration. I'm assuming this is the orb pickup. I don't know if that's a good thing. If it's the orb pickup, I believe it puts a dot on you. So in terms of like how much damage it will do to you, that's better. But in terms of like the buff it will give you, it's worse. I would say just like make it 12 seconds, if anything, and reduce the dot damage in the sense it's like same damage over 12 seconds or versus same damage over 8 seconds. Okay. Ruby life pools. Scorchling no longer cast Burning Touch. Wow. This is like a non-issue. I mean, yeah, the dots suck, but like, I mean, it's not like you have to deal with them. You can skip them as well. It's not... These guys, Thunderhead and Flame Gullet, are now visible from... Amen. Like, thank you. Like, why was this... Why would they just appear pretty much in lane, right? Like, yeah, once you know the route, it's not big of a deal. It's like, oh, he's over there. We can step over the route, and it's fine if you really want to skip, but, like, why was he even there? Making their flight path easier to keep track of. Yeah, whatever. The cast time of Thunderhead, Storm Breath, and Flame Gullet, Flame Breath increased to 3 seconds, was 2 seconds. In my opinion, make Thunderhead, Storm Breath just more visible. I don't care about the cast time. Make the Storm Breath way more visible and understand its cone. This guy, almost no one gets hit by his breath. This guy, almost every round someone gets hit by his breath at least once. Okay? It's not a cast thing, it's a visibility thing. Primalist Flame Dance's Flame Dance channel duration increased to 6 seconds, was 4 seconds. Is that when he dies, or is that the Flame Dance that he's trying to cast off? Because if he tries to cast it off, that's not a channel. Because it's just a cast until it's off. Either way, just you can just stun them. I mean, 4 seconds or 6 seconds, I don't care. And when they die and start doing that stupid dance, I'm assuming that's what they mean. I don't know why you would increase it. If you increase it, that's a buff. Like, nothing in Ruby Life needs a buff. Also, you just dispel them, Arcane Turret, or like, you know, Purge or something. Blazebound Destroyer's Living Bomb period damage with this is big. You definitely need this. This does way too much damage. Tempest Channeler's Lightning Storm periodic damage and duration have both been reduced by 20%. Tempest Channeler's Lightning Storm. Oh, okay, wait. Is this the small mob, or is this... Yeah, it's small mob, because the other one is... The other one, I believe, is a named mob. But Tempest Channeler is that small mob. I mean, okay, that's fine. Like, he's... If this was an issue for you, the last mob before the boss is going to be way of an issue in comparison. Kokia Blazoof, health reduced by 15%. Blazebound Firestorm, health reduced by 20%. That's fine overall. In my opinion, this needs to be 40. This is like Tyrannical. 20% reduced means in Tyrannical it's going to be the same as it is in Fortified. What it was last week. I mean, it's like, it's not really enough. Kiraka and Urquhart Storm Vein. Urquhart Storm Vein health reduced by 10%. Kiraka health reduced by 10% is fine. Kiraka is grounded. Flame Spit will now target a maximum of 3 players. Was 5. That's good. There's means like, you know, 2/3 of the flame. But again, will now target a maximum. That means it can also be like 1 or 2, right? When it was 5, I saw that's like it wasn't often that you would get all 5 players targeted. But yeah. All right. Temple of Jade Serpent, not one of the outliers on the bad side. Depraved Mistweaver, Defiling Mist, damage reduced 20%. I would say this is fine. It wasn't that big of an issue. Like, the only problem with this one is that is one of the packs you have to have 3 interrupts on 3 different targets, but again, it's not. It's like you just have to bring 3 melees, basically, like a tank and 2 melees for that. Just the one pull right before the last boss. Just the one pull, you need that. Other than that, like, it's not that big of a deal. Depraved Mistweavers, Touch of Ruin's initial aura is now a curse effect. Okay, whatever. Where is the nerf to the assholes that, like the floaty guys that just, like, slap you? Where's the nerf for those guys? Mistweaver was not even, like, that big of an issue. You know what the biggest, again, it was an issue overall, but you know what the biggest issue there? The floaty guys that just slap, okay? They ignore armor or something like that, or you can't block. Because it doesn't matter which tank I bring there. DK was probably, like, the best one to handle them. I got like one hit from them. 70% of my HP is Paladin. I've seen warriors get demolished by them almost instantly. Okay, as a Paladin, at least I can just like put Consecration and walk them off. But I'm not sure. I believe you just can't block any of their damage. That's why like warrior block doesn't work on them. Warriors just get demolished. Okay, so the warrior used literally all of his cooldowns and got demolished by the 3 of them. Right, but you have to grab aggro, so you have to be close enough, but they just fucking slap you. And you're dead almost instantly, right? Yeah, it's like something is wrong with those slappy boys. But again, this doesn't fix almost any of the problems. Temple Jade. By the way, bosses, my opinion, way too easy. The 3rd boss does absolutely nothing. Right, it has a healing absorb shield on the tank. The fires are already visible. They're not too visible, but they are also making it more visible. And the fucking dragon version doesn't even do anything. So it's like just flame breath, 3 auto attacks and flame breath. It's like okay, like it's the 3rd boss is a joke. The last boss is way overpowered. This whole dungeon will still suck, no matter fortified or tyrannical. This dungeon sucks on both sides, but Shadow Moon Valley still exists. Wise Mary, improve the visibility on corrupted gazers, warning effect. Okay, it's all an issue that could prevent Wise Mary's facing to display properly during rush away. Yep. I mean, how about the issue where the boss just stops, he casts in place, that's the animation, but it's still actually spinning, so everyone just dies. I mean, maybe this one, yeah, facing to display properly to motion away, yeah, maybe that one. Shout of Doubt, Touch of Nothingness, damage reduced by 20%. That's, I believe, that's the dot. That's not the issue here. Bounds of Reality, reduce damage taken by 99% instead of granting immunity to all damage. I don't know what this is for, but okay. Maybe, no, I have no idea why this matters. Maybe so like you can kill him if like he has like almost no HP. So you can like still kind of damage him. The problem with Shout of Doubt, the mobs that he summons, especially in Tyrannical, gonna be hitting way too hard and are gonna have way too much HP to manage them. Okay, you actually need to bring, like, I would say a mage to freeze them all in place while you try to AoE them down, because you have to stag them. You cannot single target them at all. Like, you do not have time. You have to stag them. When you stag them, you need to AoE stun them and CC them so they don't just fucking, because they will almost like 3 auto DPS. If not 2, especially in Tyrannical. It's like, yeah. Either way, my opinion, these changes, why does it take so long to make these changes? Also, not enough changes. Why are some Mythic Pluses substantially harder than others? Like, this makes absolutely no sense. It's the same content, rewards the same gear. Why some dungeons going to take you forever for the same amount of gear? Like, some dungeons, their target is like almost 40 minutes. Some dungeons are like 28 minutes, okay? Why? Why do they reward the same amount of gear? clearly the time investment in some dungeons is greater than time investment in others, let alone the longer dungeons usually are harder. The shorter dungeons are usually easier. Algathor Academy, it's probably the fastest one. Maybe Ruby Life Pools is faster, but this is like on the very low timer in comparison. And then you have, and Shadow Moon Valley, by the way, it's 30 minutes. And then you have Knockout Offensive, 38 to 40 minutes. I don't remember, I think it was like 40 minutes. Still rewards the same shit, is way harder. Like, this makes absolutely no fucking sense. The whole balance of Mythic Plus right now is a fucking joke. And that's it from me. Take care. Fuck this game. I'll see you online in Azeroth. Fuck.